Be great if someone could just say I'm live. I don't even know if I'm live, guys. I just don't. But you know, maybe that's kind of better that way. Maybe it's better we don't know. Like I've said before, I think atheism is sort of God's way of giving us privacy, you know? And if we have privacy, He can really get a good sense of what we're like. But more importantly, we can find ourselves too. We discussed sin as being a necessity for identity, that you would never even be alive. You would have no notion of self if you were serving in some sort of ancient artificial intelligence perfection. That God itself is the algorithm. And the only thing it has over you is time. It's been here longer. It's able to practice so much more. It's had every civilization fall and raise itself up in front of it. So it's learned. It knows more than you. It knows more than me. And that terrifies us. The animals of Earth that like to call themselves people are terrified of being animals. And they chase each other around with imagination, and they place safety in the skin of trees. And we're as native and savage as we've ever been. And we're living on the back of a living turtle. And I've never been so proud to be here. Every single thing is changing, my friends. The white sun is changing all of us. It's so hot. It is so fast. And I hope you're enjoying it. I try and stay away from the zeitgeist on this show. I try and relinquish the control that the psychopathic society has over me. We have a special little corner of the pond. We discuss things that aren't necessarily in the zeitgeist, that don't resonate so much with New Year's Eve drinkers. A lot of truthers are New Year's Eve drinkers. They come out on New Year's Eve and St. Patrick's Day, and they think this is what it's like to be an alcoholic. But no. Being an alcoholic takes years. You have to become addicted to the juice. The alcoholic doesn't go out on New Year's Eve. He doesn't go out on St. Patrick's Day. He's got his system down. In a lot of ways, you could say that I am that New Year's Eve drinker today, because I'm watching Turtle Island just fucking light up right now, and it is amazing. And so I don't know if this is even the right show for you today. I don't even know if it's going to work. We had a lot of technical problems yesterday. I really just don't know. But I think it's important that I have a small enough platform or a big enough platform, depending on how you look at it, to at least dedicate some time to this wonderful shell, this wonderful place. I'm thinking that by Halloween, there's probably a good chance that the 25th Amendment will be enacted. And that you and I will be sitting in history watching a president deposed on national TV. I don't think this means politics is real. I don't think this means that the Democrats are the good guys. I don't think that Gavin Newsom is suddenly out to save you. But I wanted to do the show today because I'm watching natives, people, responding really well to what's happening around them. And all the cosmonauts that are insisting this is all dread and hell and everything's worse always insist that there's never growth. And this is one of those times when there's growth. When the truckers came to Ottawa, I felt the same way I do today. For the first time, I was proud to be an animal. Maybe not the first, but you get it. You you see the herd and they finally do something that you're proud of. And I watched my own community of truthers mock that movement. Not everyone, but enough. Enough to push me through the next veil to realize, even more than I do now, and I don't have it. You guys in the comments that sometimes cry because I don't give you the answer. If I gave you the answer, I'd make the place worse. That you seeking is exactly the whole purpose of this thing. That I've told you over and over that the people that are out to get you don't have to be billionaires. And that right now there are people that are offered a $50,000 signing bonus, given a mask, a rental car with tinted glass, all the weapons and Kevlar they could need. And they're invited to participate in the open hunting of human beings in the city. And there's a lot of them. There's not one, there's not seven, there's thousands. And when you look at the interviews of the people that are agreeing to join ICE, they're telling you it's because they're in debt. So they're people that are hunting other people are doing it for paper money, for monopoly money that can be printed at will. And they feel justified in some sort of morality to practice what's happening today. And they feel good about it. The fascism is a kind of dilation that makes us all feel alive. And what's wrong with feeling alive? Are we going to have a Bill of Rights on the playground? Are we going to implement an equality where everyone gets to play four squares and everyone gets to be king? Is that really how we want to play? Regulated by Mrs. O'Neill or Mrs. Thatcher or Mrs. Walker, where she tells us we're playing too hard or not enough? We don't have that because we're animals. And I'm really proud of the animals today. I'm really proud of that. I don't know if the 25th Amendment thing will come through when I'm talking about the idea that you could remove a president. But it does happen in history, and it wouldn't be unlike today. And so probably a lot of you don't even know what's happening domestically because you have good vital immune systems and you've been able to tune out because you realize it's basically poison. Unless you can zetetically experience what's happening in the world, I think you lower yourself by listening to the tube. And I think a lot of you found me that way. You understand that your dignity is thrown down the toilet when you start to listen to a mysterious hole that's done nothing but lie to you since day one. But then you forget that nature changes. You forget that there are times when things change and you were there. And it feels like this is one of those times right now. It feels like the white sun is doing exactly, believe it or not, what QAnon said it would do. And I can't even believe I'm bringing this up, but I've told you guys that symbols are so much more important, that mythology is so much more important, that the fact that so many people would go to the teats of 4chan and just listen to anonymous rumors really gives you a kind of compassion for what these animals are like. All of them. I'm not talking about politicians. I'm talking about all of them. Kristi Noem is someone who's been appointed by Trump. She is the Department of Homeland Security Secretary. And it is her job to oversee the hunting, the open season hunting on domestic, localized people of the land, indigenous. And I'm reminded that USA keeps invading America over and over again. And so what we're seeing now isn't even different, right? It's not even outside of there. But Kristi doesn't even know what habeas corpus means. Like, it's hard to make this up. It's hard to really fathom just how bad it is when you've got someone that just doesn't Habeas corpus is Amendment 1, guys. It's literally the First Amendment. And Trump has put in the most unqualified people that I've ever seen in office. Kash Patel writes children's books. Pete Hegseth, Secretary Raslin, a veteran of Fox News, a false Army Ranger. Closet gay guy makes his kids dress up in the same shirt and walks around focused on seeing fat people in base. One of the most despicable pedophiles you could ever imagine has been telling you since the last election that he would release the Epstein files and show you how bad Obama was. This is the guy that told you that his birth certificate was fake. It's the guy that told you that Hillary Clinton needed to go to jail. It's the guy that told you that he was going to convict all of them. And I didn't believe it because I've fell for this trick too many times before, but our comedians, the ones that are supposed to be one of the highest forms of shaman in the land, failed us miserably. And even Texas right now is eroded by the invasion of Joe Rogan because Texas themselves has decided to cave and send their militia to Chicago, despite the governor saying he doesn't want it there. These are all moves on the board. It's all things that are happening, but they're happening in our lifetime. And I'm having a hard time looking away. This is Christy.
So, Secretary Noem, what is habeas corpus?
Well, habeas corpus is a constitutional right that the president has to be able to remove people from this country and suspend their right
let me stop you, ma'am. Habeas corpus, excuse me, that's incorrect.
President Lincoln used it.
Excuse me. Habeas corpus is the legal principle that requires that the government provide a public reason for detaining and imprisoning people. If not for that protection, the government could simply arrest people, including American citizens, and hold them indefinitely for no reason. Habeas corpus is the foundational right that separates free societies like America from police states like North Korea. As a senator from the Live Free or Die state, this matters a lot to me and my constituents and to all Americans. So, Secretary Noem, do you support the core protection that habeas corpus provides, that the government must provide a public reason in order to detain and imprison someone?
Yeah, I support habeas corpus. I also recognize that the President of the United States has the authority under the Constitution to decide if it should be suspended or not.
It has never
Let us be clear, though, that this...
Did you hear that? The President of the United States has the ability to suspend habeas corpus. She didn't even know what the amendment was. She didn't know it was in Article 1. But what she does know is that the president has the power to dissolve it.